Alright everybody, so round 3 of qualifier number 1 for HGC 2017, the European qualifier, the first qualifier. Team Liquid is going up against BeGenius, so we have Liquid with their new roster, their current roster, going up against the French team here. Towers of Doom is our first map, so that already promises, of course, quite a bit of action. Keep in mind, Varian is banned. We are on the Varian patch, but the hero himself is banned out globally because he's too new. Samuro, on the other hand, is allowed. And now we have bans on Abathar and Tassadar. Now with Tassadar being banned out, one of the strategies that immediately is being shut down is the Tassadar Tracer. We've seen it at BlizzCon, we've seen it especially by the French community being played a lot, so Liquid banning him out here, making sure that that can't be played. And they are actually opening up with Falstad Brightwing saying like, hello globals. I'm a little bit curious if we might even see a Dehaka here. We've seen Dehaka mainly on Sky Temple when we're looking at the BlizzCon games, but we have also seen him on maps like Dragonshire and Towers of Doom, so that's another option that Liquid has if they want to go full global on BeGenius. Tychus is currently also being locked down here. We have seen him in nearly every single game that we casted so far. An extremely strong assassin. And yeah, we have Dehaka, but it looks like it's not going to be Team Liquid who picks him up. Instead, BeGenius says like, wait a second. You have Falstad and Brightwing? Yeah, forget it. We're going to get Dehaka. We're not even going to ban him. We're going to take him ourselves. And with ETC, they have, of course, the potential global on the stage dive that they can use too. It's interesting to see that Malfurion is now being banned in the second ban phase. So we have actually a fair amount of like support power banned out with Tassadar, Malfurion, forcing BeGenius more or less into an Oriel, at least so far. That's what we're currently seeing there. BeGenius with a ban could take out Muradin for now. The Dwarf, of course, still quite strong. But it's a Zeratul that they're getting rid of, or at least thinking about. Zeratul, of course, also receiving quite a lot of changes in the last patch, especially like talents were shifted around a bit, which allows him to get insane mobility and therefore pressure against the backline already earlier in the game than before. There's a very strong attack power there, so we can actually see if they confirm that, yes, they do, and therefore Zeratul not going to be an issue, especially for a hero like Tychus that doesn't really want to deal with that. Liquid, on the other hand, likely to pick Muradin here. I mean, we could see them head into a different frontline tank, of course. We have seen a fair amount of Johanna already being played today. It's a little bit map dependent if you are relying on the extra wave clear or not. Muradin, usually the better choice as like per se, disregarding the map for a moment, and they go into Muradin. Vala now also taken, so with Vala you have the wave clear. We have seen different builds on her depending on the map. Arrow builds on Battlefield of Eternity, more like the Korean style, the usual multi-shot build with a wave clear potential, and especially against like double tank setups, we've seen also a little bit of auto attack focus, mainly so on BlizzCon in certain games. The Koreans have actually introduced it, Dignitas picked it up, Mena played it quite a bit too, but more dominant is still the multi-shot build for Vala, since it gives a lot of utility later on as well. BeGenius not going into the Oriel, it's the Rhaegar going for the Lone Wolf here, with Li Ming as their last and final pickup, and Liquid themselves, of course, they could still need a second frontliner here. Muradin is already being picked, either melee assassin, could go into something like a Thrall. We've seen a lot of Alarak plays as well. Thrall is now totally viable with Earthquake, and instead of going for any kind of melee assassin setup, they're just simply saying, you know what? We are going for the man who just wants to play. It's Stitches! Okay, so that's already promising to be a pretty fun game, to be quite frank. So yeah, guys, we're going to jump into game number 2. Without further ado, it's Towers of Doom Team Liquid going up against BeGenius. Game number 1. My bad. Game number 1. It's the HGC 2017 qualifier, the first qualifier for Europe, and we have Team Liquid versus BeGenius. Game number 1, the best of 3, when the third round of the qualifier, and to the left side of the map, it's Stitches, played by Shat. Gerd am Herd on Brightwing. We have Poik on Vala, Sportbilly on Falstad, and Jiku is playing Muradin. And to the right side of the map, their opponent, BeGenius, Unstable on Rhaegar, Tank for the win on Dehaka Shakalaka, Kirva on Li Ming, Danatan on ETC, and Arcane is playing Tychus. And already we have Gathering Storm taken for Falstad, so not going for any kind of season marksman shenanigans. Of course, especially in the current patch, the talent even got buffed. It has no cap anymore. Stormbolt to the face. The cow in trouble. Yeah, ETC doesn't like that at all, but we all know he rocks, so he just took that like a champ, and we have the rotation starting up. So a bit of a rotation going on right now between a few of those players at least. Interestingly enough, we have the Colossal Totem for Rhaegar on level 1. We don't really see him all that often anymore in games, since actually thinking about it, there's even a higher priority of Morales these days than Rhaegar, I have the feeling. At least we've seen her a bit more, not only this qualifier, but also, if I'm not completely mistaken, at Gamescom, or they had at least a very similar showing in those matches. Dehaka, of course, with a primal aggression on level 1. Global presence is once again key. We are on Towers of Doom, so especially the first and the fifth phase of the altars are fairly important when we have 3 altars spawning on the map. The battle for the bell towers has started, and Poik is eating a little bit of Tychus damage, where we have also Guitar Hero taken for ETC. Stitches himself going straight into his Dampen Magic, so eating some of those shots from Li Ming, blocking those quite nicely. Brightwing with the Unfurling Spray. Gerd Herd is currently doing his stuff all the way down at the bottom of the map, and they have basically just like switched all over the place with their global heroes, so they can fly in wherever needs be. Nice zoning attempt here from Sport Billy, is trying to keep Dehaka out of the experience reach on the top lane, so he's doing fairly well with that. Dehaka, of course, is going to try to get those licks in a little bit later on if he can get the Tong connected. Down at the bot lane, both of the teams making a bit of a play with 2 heroes each for that bottom bell tower, whereas the top lane looks pretty much like it's just going to be a switch. So Sport Billy already going for the channel, we have Kira doing the same. Shat already moving in, yep, there's the hook and the interrupt. The fight down here, on the other hand, is still raging on, as we have ETC joining things up with this. All the way up to the top, first bell tower has been channeled through. They're letting the one to the right side go, and they're focusing on the fight over bell tower number 3. The level 4 talents being in play for both of the teams, and there's the first blood. Muradin is down. The dwarf, he can apparently die after all. Healing ward on level 4 taken for Rhaegar. And we have multi-shots. We're seeing 4 more shots fired straight at the core now that BeGenius has claimed bell tower, altar number 2. And besides that, static shield from the burn taken. We're seeing the arcane barrage, and we have the putrid ground, so a bit of a slam focus on the side of Stitches here. So a good opening for BeGenius. Getting the kill and also getting the second bell tower is definitely helping them out with this one. We're having also in the rhythm taken, and more fighting down at the bot lane over one of the camps. Danatan got a hook, Falstad flies in. Yep, once again they're starting to go for a kill against Tychus, and the barrel roll. No more hooks against Danatan. Shat didn't have the cooldown ready. But yeah, that was a smart move on the side of TeamLiquid. Also reacting very fast to the situation with Sport Billy flying down, helping out here, securing the kill against Tychus. Unstable, trying to annoy the bird a little bit. Just slowing it down on the rotation to the top lane here. Won't be able to deny any experience though, because the wave just now appeared in tower range. So it's quite important. Yeah, dang. That was a quick burrow here. He delayed that a bit, was hoping that the hook wouldn't connect, and then he wasn't quite so sure anymore if the hook would get him or not, and was just like, alright, I'm gonna take a dive here. Tank at the top lane right now is already giving the Sport Billy a little bit of trouble. I like it. With all the globals on the map, we see actually fantastic games these days. Especially at BlizzCon, we had a couple of matches on Sky Temple in particular, where we just had global action all over the place, and it is insane what you can do with this. We're having Last Bite already taken, so with this, cooldown reduction, gonna help Stitches with a bit of survivability potentially. It's kind of funny to see actually Shat in that position right now. He's just a fantastic all-around player, and is going to showcase that. No Vikings here, by the way, on the map. Unstable gets hooked. The hooks are good. The kill as well. And now with a double bell tower, we have TeamLiquid making a play for it. Level 7 talents on both sides. And we have now Arsenal again, the boomerang for the big back boom. Iron Forged Momentum. Muradin going full survival build here. And the first one taken. Hook is not connecting since Danatan was just a little bit too smart to move straight to the gate. We have also the Constriction taken, the increased drag, but the first one, 5 versus 5 right now. First shots have been fired, it's like even score. Muradin, Siku, there's the hook, Muradin is dead, and Danatan cannot be taken. Actually, they just helped him a little bit. Gerd is about to be blown up, let's see if he can get away. Oh, barely getting out of reach. So once again, TeamLiquid. Oh, actually, my bad, my apologies. TeamLiquid was able to channel the second one through as well. I thought they got interrupted and were still fighting over. They retreated after they won it, so my apologies. I thought for a moment that we would see BeGenius with a slight lead in the shots or in the core points, but it is actually TeamLiquid. They were able to get the second one after all. Looked for a long time like the interrupt was in time, but it wasn't. So yeah, we have both of the alters channeled for TL, who are also slightly closer in experience when it comes to the race for level 10, which is of course then entering the mid game. Nice timing here also on the pumpkin camp that they just took. That was a close call. They could have gotten either way actually. If ETC would have arrived a little bit earlier there. Sport Billy threatening the mid lane a little bit, but Kiewa has to be very careful. So we still have the globals, of course, now present up at the top. Ideally, you would try and escort those pumpkin guys all over to the right side and let them rush straight into the bell tower. But it looks like, at least for now, BeGenius is going to equalize the score and experience and therefore hit level 10 at roughly the same time. It's going to be a Gorge play. We have Gorge with Falstad Mighty Gust, so a Gorge and a Gust will isolate the target completely. Wow, you might not even need that. Our Arcane already gets hammered into the ground. Oh! Such a close call. Poik even going for the strafe. He didn't run or use that. They were pretty sure they could get that kill, and then they saw Unstable with their attempt to go straight for the Ancestral, and they just popped the ult on Vala too, because they realized they would maybe not get the kill elsewise. Bell Tower is taken at the bot lane. TeamLiquid with the plays right now. Kiewa is just lasering away, playing a bit of Star Wars action up there at the top lane. Lasers. And Tank is still there together with Kiewa trying to get the camp. Now, we have Mighty Gust. Yeah. I like the idea, but Kiewa paid attention, and Sport Billy might pay the price now. Okay, he barely gets away. That was close, like he was completely out of mana. The hook! The hook and the Gorge again! Look at Shat, you beast! Yeah, you can burrow all they want, bro. You are not going to get out of this one, I can promise you that much. Adios de Haka. So he's gone. Bell Tower reclaimed, though, at the bot lane. But that top lane scenario was a really interesting one. Was taken, or about to be, but like, that was actually kind of funny because Kiewa did not go to the side by accident. He actually knew that there's a chance that there's a Gust, so he just tried to make sure that the Gust would hit both of them, and then Sport Billy nearly dies. But thanks to rotation, all works out. Danatan, yeah, second too late. Second too late to have an impact here. So the shots fired thanks to the boss claimed by Liquid. 19 versus 32 right now in the points on the core. So TeamLiquid actually starting off with a very nice advantage into this game. Doing very well for themselves right now. When we're talking about damage and also of course about like siege damage, we currently have Brightwing leading the charge in siege thanks to the barrage, and we have in hero damage Vala way ahead of everyone else on the side of TeamLiquid. Falstad isn't even close. Then again, he had for the longest time also the top lane, of course, pretty much solo, and the Haka was outside of it. Shat, seriously, like someone attached a magnet to that hook. He is hitting everything. You can teleport all you want, Kiewa. I don't care. That's not gonna happen anymore. Great hooks by Shat so far this game. Very well done by him. I mean, he is on point with his skill shots. Really well done. So, at this point, we're seeing level 13 talents for TeamLiquid, and they're making a play for another bell tower. And keep in mind, they also have down here once more those pumpkin guys running in. So that's a bell tower that they are definitely going to get, no doubt about that. Top lane, on the other hand, we're seeing a similar move now from BeGenius, and they are going to get this. Well, now that we have the Gust actually coming in, it looks like they won't. So yeah, more shots fired by the way. The altar has been channeled, and boom! That's 5 to the face, and therefore we have now 32 versus 14. The level 13 talents for both of the teams are also already... What the hell? Shat had 5 seconds cooldown, 6 seconds on the Gorge, or you would have been able to just like Gorge ETC. But if you are playing on the side of BeGenius right now, you are afraid every single time that you see Stitches. I mean, those hooks are absolutely crazy. He's getting every single one of them. So we have Fleabag taken already. We're seeing Shield Dust with Gloom against Li Ming mainly. So that is going to help Vala. Can throw that out every now and then. The Flow Rider and the Healing Static. And Shat for one of the first times actually in this game missing one of his hooks. But the 13 talents now with a Ferocious Stalker. They're trying to capitalize a bit on this global presence plays potentially. So that's something that we can see. Encore has been taken too, and we're seeing that's the stuff for these. And again, chat, what on earth? Brightwing comes in and says like, yep, we got this, and they go for, whoa, unstable. Oh, the save. The save and the turnaround. Look at that Dirty Wolf. Great play here. Ah, there's the burrow. ETC comes in. ETC, the drill on the ground. And once more Zico jumping out barely. But that was an amazing save by Rhaegar. That's the Rhaegar player that you want to have on your team when you play Hero League. That was really well done. I mean, that looked like a perfect kill. I mean, Brightwing teleporting in once that the hook actually landed and immediately going for the polymorph here. That was fantastic, exactly what they needed here. But Rhaegar getting in range, doing extremely well here and saying like, no, you're not gonna kill my backline again. That's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Triple bell tower once more. And guys, this could actually nearly be a game. Keep that in mind. We have 15 versus 15 in levels, so both of them are still very close. Stitches, not gonna go for the hook. Danatan can jump down if he wants to. Guess still trying to channel. Falstad and Stitches starting to make their way to the bot lane. To the top, ETC is trying to push this in. Can always join the fight at the bottom whenever he wants to. Trying to go in. Stitches is waiting for that hook. ETC is waiting for the jump. Get is getting the turn. Oh, he's not getting it. But ETC might pay the price. The hook goes on Rhaegar. The gorge is there, and Rhaegar cannot ancestral himself. Rhaegar unstable on the run and survives. Oh my god. And he's getting away. Cooldowns have all been burned off. And now we have Ancestral actually back to business. Could use it to save Danatan if he needs to. The hook is again on point. Shad doing well for his team here. Sport Billy trying to go in from the side and drop another hammer, but not able to make that work. Shad interrupting again. Unstable needs to be very careful. If he's hooked again, then he is toast. But great survival moves here on the side of BeGenius. They're playing a great game here. They're starting to adjust really to what's happening. Nice Tonket! Gets away, but gets killed from ETC sliding in. Counter killer potential here against Danatan, but he is able to move out, and that is a bell tower. A shot fired in favor of BeGenius, and that was an important one. A very important one. 24 against 10. 16 talents also dropped at the end of the fight, so that gave a bit of an edge to BeGenius. But really well done. Both sides with great plays right now. I'm liking it. Good hook action. We are seeing a lot of nice saves by Rhaegar. Unstable playing absolutely on point. We have Seething Hatred now taken too. Getting those Hatred stacks up. And of course, what's a little bit more important even, we have the fishing hook. Let's see what Shed can do with that. So far, he was playing a very convincing... trying to go for the gorge. Not getting that. Poik! Vala, so low, but able to get away. They give it up for now. Sport Billy does not have the gust anymore. Use that just and they have at least the camp taken. So moving away from this. Still a bit of a split with Sport Billy up at the top, but a nice poke happening with him dropping the hammers, literally, and they are starting to go for a potential second hook again. But yeah, the gorge did not really connect with Chat in the last one, but still, his hooks are very, very strong. Hook game is on point. And also keep in mind that we have 16 right now, so the dwarf is even scarier than he was before. Once that the little dwarf can go for the hop, hop, hop with his heavy impact, you get a lot of value out of that. We also see the elongated tongue, and we have the Earthgrass Totem with great synergy with the Colossal Totem as the level 1 talent, obviously. By the way, also the saves on Rhaegar, also due to Earth Shield. Did not go for the cooldown reduction, so instead goes for the shield so that he can try and go in and save the target. And talking target, again, barely getting away. Kieva with the instant teleport. Instant. Moving away from the hook. And that's, yeah, Shed is definitely putting the fear of hooks into the hearts of the red team. At the top lane, on the other hand, Margin tank for the win is going for the bell tower, and he has one now. Another hook. You gotta be kidding me. He's getting them from everywhere, but immediately the reaction. I am loving these plays by BeGenius. Doing really well. The target hooked and gorged, but they still can't take it down. Sport beat a little bit too late to provide the gust to push everyone away, and tank for the win. He reacted within a second and just went straight into the bush to make sure that they could save Rhaegar. Once more, the tongue, the drag, going for it. Shad using his E, surviving. Here comes the Ancestral, maybe a little bit too early, but they confirm the kill against Stitches and are now in a 5 versus 4. BeGenius making them plays. Sport Billy being super low, but forcing Arcane to drop the drill, which now zones the altar, of course, on top of everything else. That is at least one altar, and that's 5 shots fired, thanks to the bell tower they took up at the top lane. 5 shots fired already, and we're going to see another 5 in just a moment. They go for Brightwing, Slide is in, and goodbye Gerd. He is dead, and that is now 3 versus 5 on the map. Another 5 bell towers going to shoot up at the core, and with this we are going to have a much closer game than what it looked like after the first few minutes. 14 against 10 points on the core right now. This is starting to become a really close call. TeamLiquid relied heavily on these hooks, and Shat had amazing moves so far in the game, but we are seeing BeGenius reacting very smartly to those. Every time the Hawkeye is starting to move in immediately, Rega with great saves thanks to the Earth Shield combo with the Ancestral, and they're also able to always force the battle. The one thing that has been missing from most of these hook actions is the Gust afterwards, because they have to put Falstad on the opposite lane. Now the play for boss though. They are making a play for the boss, the hook is missing, and it looks like BeGenius is abandoning it. They're saying like, listen, we can't take it right now, but TeamLiquid likes it. And I'm not quite sure that was the best move. They're actually trying to go for the play here. They have Falstad. They can go for the Mighty Gust. They go for it. They take it. But what about Murden? He jumps out, survives for now. And this is Shat in a bit of trouble. ETC jumps in. And Shat is still completely outside of the range of his teammates who cannot save him. But it's 4 shots. They just got 4 additional shots, and putting the core of BeGenius down to 6 hit points is, of course, quite something. And also Falstad flew down to the bot lane. The Gust was great, was really well done by Sport Billy. He's going to get a bell tower. So we're most likely going to end up with an exchange, since the top lane is heavily attacked now. 30 seconds for Stitches, level 20 already on the board for BeGenius, which gives them now not only the Storm Shield, but we have Hardened Shield. We're seeing at the same time the Temporal Flux now taken, and we have a Bolt of the Storm for ETC. Altar's active in another 30, which means that Stitches is going to be back. So after all, the trade 4 points against the core versus Stitches, totally worth it. They even reclaimed the bell tower to the top lane, and they force now the opponent to fight in a very uncomfortable situation. But maybe... Nah, we're not going to see a move for the bell tower at the bot lane by BeGenius anytime soon. Or are they? They won't be able to get that before the altars are active, or will they now? We have Farflight Quiver already taken with Searing Hatred, a great talent now, Wind Tunnel even. Yeah, Wind Tunnel could secure a game. If there we go. It secures them most likely now. 1. ETC? No, not secured yet. ETC had to jump in. Once again, the drill on the ground, and whoa, the double kill! Muradin is dead, and so is Falstad. Wind Tunnel taken so they can make that play. It didn't work out, and now 2 altars are going to end up in the hands of BeGenius. Guys, this game is getting closer and closer. We're going to be 6 points on the core for both of these teams. That's 4 shots fired, another 4 any second. Shat thinking about making a hook play, doesn't go for it. But yeah, 6 versus 6 points on the coin. We are talking game 1 here, right? This is game number 1 that we're currently talking about. I like it. Shat with the save. Brightwing looking at it, and you can really see that. I don't even know what Brightwing is. It looks a little bit like a frog with wings, but Brightwing just like quacking away and being like... And yeah, thankfully, the helping hand. Oh! Oh! The saves! What's going on here? First of all, he dashes away, is able to escape. Then they are still polymorphing him. Shat is getting closer and closer for the Gorge. And Unstable dropping the totem and saying, like, leave my Tychus alone. This is my Tychus, you can't have him. I really like the plays that we're seeing in this game from Unstable. He had a couple of really cool moves there. I mean, just giving you a bit of an idea about the stats, by the way, as well. We have currently, in terms of heals, 71,000 for Rega, 59,000 for Brightwing. We're seeing in damage Tychus taking the lead together with Vala for their teams. And again, the hook, the Bolt of the Storm, Wind Tunnel, baby! And the Polymorph has to be timed really well, and they... Oh, no! What? What? Oh, guys, look at these plays. Hook, Gorge, Bolt of the Storm, Wind Tunnel to save it. Then ETC uses his level 4 talent, the Crowd Surfer, after the Bolt of the Storm to escape. Barrel roll by Falstad. This game has everything. Top lane, by the way, that's what we're seeing with Billy going for a bit of a play against the towers here. They need one more bell tower. One more bell tower or they can't end with the next altar. They need, it's 2 altars, by the way. We're seeing 2 altars. It's 30 seconds on ETC. Yes, when he comes back, he can simply use his stage dive. But right now, this is getting a bit crazy. Also, these guys could completely ruin. If they get the bell tower, then BeGenius can't even end. Even if they get, no, they both have to take 2. My bad. Like, yeah, math on stream is hard. I was for some reason thinking they're on 4, but now we have 4 shots fired already, and this could very well end the game here right now. ETC is still not there. The drill is down. Nice. Ball of the Storm by Shat gives him back to safety. ETC is back to business. They let it go. They actually let it go. Oh. Guys, this is now 3 shots against 2. No? 2, 3? Yeah, 3 against 2. 3 against 2. This game is so close. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Alright, let's see. Boss is up in 20 seconds. Oh my god. Bot lane, what about the camps here? 30 seconds on this one. 30 seconds on this one. No matter what you do, like, this is like one altar, a boss, a camp going through. Everything can make that happen. Right now, there's Tank all the way at the top. Gets revealed, boss is there, they're starting to fight for it, ETC at the bot lane. The drill is still on cooldown. Here comes the play. Okay, so they're starting to go in. Polymorph immediately. The Haka in the backline. The Haka Shakalaka action going for the Tong. Poik is still safe. The slide from ETC. Marin jumps in. Wind Tunnel. Wind Tunnel. Isolation on 2. Both of the tanks are completely isolated. Strafe is already through there. Starting ETC out again. And ETC is down. ETC is down. The Haka saved by the Ancestral. 5 versus 4 on the map at this point. And the boss still on the board. 50 seconds until ETC is back. Shat is looking for the hook. He's looking for it. He's looking for another opportunity here. He is dragged in. Shat bolts away, gets the hook. The Boro keeps the Hawk alive for a moment, but he dies. And this is it. Li Ming is down now too. Sport Billy is currently saved by Brightwing. They go for unstable. The drill is on the ground, but who cares anymore? This game is over. We have 4 kills on the side of BeGenius, 4 deaths, kills on the side of TeamLiquid. They go for the boss. What a game! What a finish! 2 against 3 points. There comes the move. They're trying to go in with Tigers. He's attempting to push them back with a grenade, but this game is over. GG, well played. TeamLiquid take game number 1. Alright guys, we have our second game, Infernal Shrines. TeamLiquid is in the lead against BeGenius, and well, let's face it, the last game was kinda close. Tigers already banned out at this point, and we have a ban on Falstad. I mean, if I was BeGenius, I would ban Stitches, Kappa. Not quite, but yeah, Falstad banning him here on Infernal Shrines kind of makes sense. The global alone is annoying, and Sport Billy definitely annoyed the hell out of them with those Mighty Gusts. But we have already something that we didn't really see all that much. We have a Sonya all of a sudden. Tacita, Sonya drafted right at the start, and Sonya was one of the go-to heroes on this map for a long time, and we just were talking about presence on the shrines during objective phases, but then she kind of faded out of the meta a little bit. TeamLiquid apparently trying to bring her back. BeGenius with Vala, ETC right now, and the Malfurion. So basically you have Malfurion and Vala, which have very nice synergy with cooldown reduction, with also of course like mana that you can give her to just like spam that multi-shot the entire time. Helps you a lot to get control over the Infernal Shrines and to get the additional objective power. ETC, great tank, one of the best tanks, if not the best CC tank right now. And TeamLiquid, they are heading into the next ban. Now with Tacita and Sonya, I'm a little bit curious to see what kind of healer they're going to draft. When we're talking about like old school setup, normally you would go into a Rhaegar, since you also have like the lightning shield available. Sonya gets even more presence on the shrine, but in the current meta, Rhaegar, even though we saw him in the last game, is not as highly prioritized as heroes like Oriel or Brightwing. Depends, of course, highly on what TeamLiquid is going to draft in the next phase. Li Ming is still out there. Traditionally, we're always talking about her not having as much value on Infernal Shrines towards the objective as on other maps. but she can still be a very good part for it, and of course she thrives on kills and therefore the cooldown resets. So that's something. BeGenius, even with a potential ban here on Brightwing, trying to make sure, like, Brightwing was also played a lot with, Brightwing Tassadar was played in the past a lot with Illidan as well. You can really help out any kind of melee assassin, even though for lightning shield reasons, among other things like ancestral healing, Reika was a bit preferred. They are actually sweeping a little bit between a potential Brightwing or Li Ming ban. And I can understand that, like, especially getting rid of Li Ming here might be not the worst setup, banning her out. So yeah, that snowball potential there is just like quite immense. It's also, by the way, the reason why TeamLiquid banned out Sylvanas. First of all, you have of course the silence with the wedding arrow that can always be an issue, but the snowball potential with the Punisher is one of the biggest threats that you can have against you. And if you draft a Sonya, you are kind of willing, if need be, to give an objective up in the early game maybe. Sonya scales very nicely towards the later stage of the game. And the longer the game continues, the stronger Sonya is. And we have Gul'dan, alright, for the Horde, my friend. Gul'dan in the game, it's one of his best maps next to Tomb of the Spider Queen. He's incredibly strong here. I would say Brax's Infernal and Tomb are his best maps in the pool at this point. Muradin doesn't shock. I could have seen a ban on Muradin even by BeGenius, but I think they probably said, hey, if we ban Muradin, they take Johanna, and Johanna is still extremely strong with a wave clear, so let's make just sure that we ban something that we're more worried with the damage. But Gul'dan has been taken by TeamLiquid, and that is going to put them into a pretty interesting spot, because Muradin and Sonya are going to provide a lot of space for him, and Gul'dan has not only very good wave clear, but he has also sick damage output, and Gul'dan can be a beast. Talking about beasts, we have Thrall taken, so potential for Earthquake, unless you want to die. Well, let's see how they're going to play that. Earthquake is a lot more popular right now since we had the last patch, the variant patch. There's Brightwing as the combo for Tassadar, whereas Azul has been picked up by BeGenius. A lot of wave clear both sides. Pretty cool lineups actually. So as we're going to go into game number 2, TeamLiquid versus BeGenius, and let's find out which team is going to take the second map. TeamLiquid is in the lead here at the HGC 2017 qualifier for Europe. So let's jump in right away and see which team is able to win map number 2. Game number 2, everybody. BeGenius is going up against TeamLiquid on Infernal Shrines, and to the left side of the map it is BeGenius with tank for the win on Thrall, unstable on Malfurion with some sick moves on Rhaegar in the last game, Danatan on ETC, Kieva on Vala, and Arakin is playing Zul. To the right side of the map is the revival of Sonya, Eminem. We have Shat on Sonya, Sport Billy on Tassadar, Poik on Gul'dan, Get I'm here again on Brightwing, and Riku is playing Muradin. I'm actually a bit hyped that we are seeing Sonya back in here. I'm liking that quite a bit. So she's back again. Brought a friend. And with Tassadar and Brightwing, she definitely has the support that she needs. Already Danatan here again on this ETC. Attacked right off the start, and let's keep in mind that of course especially the Echoed Corruption is one of the talents that we have to watch out for, since the stacking process is going to allow Gul'dan to do a whole lot of work with it, and already at 4 stacks here as the game just starts with a big brawl in the middle of the map. So Poik, let's see what he can do on the hero. That being said, we have also a block already accumulated on the side of Sonya, and Sonya is taking her position up at the top lane against Thrall. So we're going to have the 2 melee assassins fighting each other. Down to the bottom lane, we have at the same time the rotation happening. So both of the teams rotating between mid and top, and especially, of course, Gul'dan is going to attempt to get his stacks in here, which is going to be fairly important for him. The faster he gets that done, the stronger he's going to be for his team, the more he's going to add during all of those temple phases here, or the shrine phases. And that's, of course, one of the reasons why this is also such a great map for him, because he can use that. Nice lockdown again versus the tank. Yeah, there comes even the Bone Prison. Azul is joining us, but it looks more and more like Muradin is going to get away here. And once more, 11 stacks already for Gul'dan, who is just able to spam those out fairly quickly, and is actually hitting quite a lot here. So let's see how this is gonna go. Sonya, of course, is a character, as I said during the draft, who's scaling over the course of the game very nicely. So they will accept that in the early game they might have to be a little bit careful with her. But thanks to the double support, it should really be one of those things where they can get a lot of value, not only out of Sonya, but also the Tassadar with his AoE damage. Gul'dan in the backline should have the safety to really engage into those corruption spells. So yeah, let's see how that's going to work out. BeGenius then again showed great coordination in the first game. They have also Zul, which is of course nice to rotate between the lanes, and that's exactly what he's doing. Right wing is currently trying to counteract it a little bit and at least leech the experience. Does of course by no means at all have like the same wave here, that's not happening, but at least can soak the XP on those towers. Oh, Kirva eating a ton of damage here, eating the entire corruption setup. Gerd jumping in, abandoning the wave clear. That means that Zul is now pushing the lanes in very hard. The experience lead will be on the side of BeGenius, but they are going to lose out on the Immortal, or at least they should. 18 stacks already on the side of Khaldor, as Tassadar is now starting to join up against Zul. But a potential kill against Muradin, who barely gets... Oh no, he doesn't get away! Nice kill by Vala. Really well done, and that could actually mean that the objective is after all not taken by TeamLiquid, but claimed by BeGenius. Khaldor again, going for the corruption here. Shad is isolated and taken down, and things are starting to look a little bit more grim. Poik is getting at least the stacks in. I mean, he's a stack monster at this point. We are currently 3 minutes into the game and he's already at 25 stacks on his Echoed Corruption, but they are falling farther and farther behind in experience. The value that Zul gets here in the early game is absolutely fantastic, and now with the added double kill that they got and the Punisher, they can really start to do a whole lot of work. Now, of course, if they can snowball the map, that would be absolutely crazy for them. On the other hand, Zul is going to suffer a little bit more during the later stages of the game compared to this early on. Like, his role is switching a little bit. Opening the gate is also pretty smart here. Helps them to engage and get more value out of the Punisher if he's able to jump on someone. And they're just waiting for that, as you can see. Therefore, nobody is really baiting the Punisher in as is. Okay, Muradin trying to jump away. There's the lockdown and the kill against Muradin, and the Bone Prison also eliminating now Gerd. Great play. Kirva is maybe even escaping. Looks like he might be able to get away from this, and it is time for Poik to fear for his life as Khaldor is also struggling. Tassadar is dead. Everybody is dying. That is nearly an entire team wipe. And it all started with really them having a massive problem baiting the Punisher in. Normally what you're trying to do... normally what you're actually trying to do is just simply use one of the range heroes to drop a quick spell so that the Punisher is baited over the wall. But with the wall at the side opened up, they were just always waiting for the Punisher to jump on the target. Muradin attempting to hop out of it with a Dwarf Toss, but as you could see, that resulted in him being killed, and now we're just seeing BeGenius snowball the game completely. They are 2.5 levels ahead already. This is absolutely crazy. They played this perfect. I mean, you can't play it much better than that. Zul did exactly what he had to do at the beginning. He soaked the experience and then rotated to the top to confirm another kill. Then they just get maximum value out of that first Punisher. That was fantastic play. Now it's 7 versus 7 talents, and that's actually why TeamLiquid is so aggressive. They realize that soon enough they're going to be far behind since the heroic abilities are going to drop. So they're invading the opponent's camp to make sure that they're getting a little bit more value, or that they can just force the issue, since they know very well that's going to be rough for them. The one upside is that Poik has 32 stacks already. It's not crazy, but it's like 5 minutes in, 32 is pretty darn good. If they can keep... Sport Billy had to actually dodge that too. But they are able to push down that time back. It's 10 versus 7 now though, so another Punisher will have to be let go. But Earthquake has now been taken, and in case that you're currently looking at the talents, your jaw drops and you're like, what? Earthquake got buffed by Blizzard in the last patch, so now Frostwolf Resilience stacks are a big thing, damage is better. It's overall a really great tool that you can use to keep those fights, especially when they're on point with like the shrines, where you can also like capitalize on the slow heroes with especially Zul, with Vala. I mean, you can do so much work with that now if you engage properly, and they are just of course trying to push that fight forward as much as they can. Absolute great control here now on the side of the blue team. They're doing really well. BeGenius is forcing the advantage as much as they can. They're going through the walls, taking those in. They're having Poik and Sport Billy now just trying to save the mid lane, or at least save as much as they can here, getting the waves in, but they will have to abandon that Punisher. So the idea right now is to get 10, 5 on 10 if possible, because they are always going to be a talent behind when the Punisher spawns. Or when the shrine spawn, and that is their biggest problem. ETC, by the way, didn't make a choice yet. He has still the opportunity to go for stage dive or mosh pit, so he waited a little bit with what kind of heroic he wants to take here. having also at the bot lane camps taken. It's the only thing really that TeamLiquid can do. While the Punisher is being fought over or being claimed, they can at least get a few camps and try to create lane pressure on the opposite side of the map. But besides that, there's very little. Sport Billy will have to use his dimensional shift here and gets away. Brightwing waiting for the 10 at the top lane. That's why she's currently split from the rest of the team, attempting to go for the experience here. ETC with the mosh pit, going in, not using anything just yet. Here's the level 10 also for TeamLiquid, and immediately Muradin. Earthquake used, but the kill against Thrall, and there's an important one, but the counter kill against Brightwing and Muradin, thanks to the mosh pit of Danatan's ETC. The slide into the ranks of TeamLiquid, the lockdown attempt against Poik. Shat goes deep. Misses the spear. Great move on the side of Unstable. That was well done. The wall. Yeah, Billy! Close call. They keep attack to 13 in play, and with that extra talent, it looks very much like the first keep is going to fall. Great play here again for BeGenius. I mean, they are doing very, very well in this match. 9 kills against 1. It's definitely a map that they are doing, you can see for yourself. Yeah, I mean, this is like the reckoning already happening. TeamLiquid is currently getting wrecked. They are getting completely snowballed on this map. Losing the first Punisher was a bit of a problem, and then losing not only the fort at the top lane, but also all the kills that the opponent's team got. That basically broke the neck of TeamLiquid already. The only thing that they can hope for is just like delaying it for as long as possible, trying to just like, get maybe a few cams, hope for level 13 talents to drop, and then go for a quick fight. Get an isolation kill maybe. Besides that, I don't really see all that they can do. The wall is there, but that was actually a bit of a weak wall by Sport Billy. Didn't get into a decent position for it, and now a counter fight. Muradin isn't there, but neither is Thrall, so it was a 4 versus 4 for a moment. TeamLiquid is still in the lead. I mean, they have the 1-0. Zico down here is fairly alone. No peekaboo on the side of Brightwing, going for a different setup here with a Manic Pixie and Jan Furling Spray. Level 13 talents, that's what TeamLiquid needs. The problem is by the time they have 13, it's very likely they were going to see 16 talents for BeGenius. And that shrine, I mean, how do you go into that? Again, one of the things that, well, they're trying to get a kill before it even happens, and that is a great isolation of Malfurion. Oh, Earthquake on the ground! And Malf says goodbye. Alright, Malf is down. That was actually a good move. Can they do more than that? Because they have to, and it seems like they can't. Already Sonya is dead, and it looks like Muradin might run into trouble here too as he gets locked down by a bone prison. And Ziku is about to fall. The wall is stopping the opponent for a second, but it's just not enough. Well done, BeGenius getting the counter kill. TeamLiquid could have made a play if they keep Sonya alive, but as is, she's dying, and that's a problem. Maybe with Rhaegar they might have been able to keep these heroes alive a little bit longer, but then of course you lose a lot of utility that Brightwing adds to the team composition that TeamLiquid is using here. They are trying to play a completely different style than what they are forced into. The problem for TeamLiquid is just simply that they are so completely outplayed on this map right now that they never find their own rhythm. We have 16 versus 13, the talents alone already more or less tell the tale. You have Manticore, we are seeing Tempered by Discipline again. Vala is a beast in damage. Also Giant Killer, plus of course the Tempest Fury is one of the deadliest combos against high point tanks like Muradin. 13, yes, it gives you utility with the Ice Block, you have the healing static, but what they really need is level 16 talents. I think if TeamLiquid can take a fight on 16 versus 16, they might get something done. They have a last chance to come back into it. I'm just not sure if it's really gonna happen, because right now, as you can tell, this is a very, very brutal engagement. There comes the Punisher. The slide ETC, only threatening the Mosh, not even using it yet. And we still have, of course, the opportunity for them to go into Reign of Vengeance and also the Silence. They are going deep for that, pushing them back, zoning. Here comes the Mosh, the kill against Brightwing. And that's not the only one. Yeah, Earthquake as a follow-up. Goodbye. This is going to be game. They're not even going to hit level 16. They're lucky if they hit level 14 in this match. That is supposed to be it. They go for the core, and that is just BeGenius completely stepping it up compared to the last game. An easy victory for them with 14 against 2 kill. Getting everything that they want here. GG, and we're going to see map number 3 between TL and BeGenius. Well played here with HGC 2017 qualifier. Okay guys, Tomb of the Spider Queen, this time with a bit of a different draft tool as well. Our last map in this series. This is going to decide which team advances to play in the round of 16. Liquid with a very good showing on map number 1. Getting a little bit spanked by BeGenius on the second map. Now we have Tomb of the Spider Queen, and boy, these guys know what they want, don't they? Immediately the ban on Malfurion. Interesting to see that BeGenius actually still ban out Falstad. They are apparently not really too happy running into potential Falstad Stitches comms and don't like that hero overall, but they love their ETC, don't they? They have the first pick and they have immediately ETC being locked down, whereas Liquid goes for a combo with Oriel. So having Vala already is going to make sure that Oriel is provided a huge amount of energy that she can use for the heals. Vala on this map is great because of the wave clear, of course. And BeGenius, what are they going to bring to the table now? The Tychus, first of all, again, has been played in nearly every match that we've seen so far in the tournament. What else? I mean, there's a couple of things that you can definitely do in Tomb of the Spider Queen which have fallen out of fashion, like going in Kel'Thas, for example. We have seen him taken again occasionally, but overall he's not really one of those go-to picks anymore. He's still strong, but oftentimes teams now prefer different compositions than that. BeGenius still has to think a little bit about how they go for the Zul, how they're going to wave clear this. They have Zul for the wave clear now, and he is ideally going to be part of the rotation, which means they would need a solo laner. Of course, he can easily take the solo lane as well, but normally if you run a Zul, you are trying to have Zul part of the rotation so that you can win the rotations quite easily, get the wave clear going on 2 lanes, and use the Bone Prison after pre-stun, maybe with a slide on ETC. Liquid has to be a bit careful about that. So for them, it's more or less a question, do they want to ban out some of the damage here, or do they want to just limit the hero pool in terms of heal? Could actually do both at this point. But one of the problems that they're definitely going to run into is if they get locked down by Bone Prison and by ETC's Power Slide, that any kind of on-point target damage is going to give them a lot of trouble, especially their front line. It's kind of like that BeGenius. This is again one of those maps where you not necessarily ban Muradin, by the way, because normally we have always that battle between like the CC tanks, ETC, Muradin, teams trying to deny one to the opponent, pick the other one for themselves. In this setup right now, I'm not quite sure if BeGenius would even consider banning out Muradin. First of all, they didn't really have too much problem with him in the last game, but more importantly, this is a map where Johanna is quite a bit stronger. So they go for the ban on the healer, and they are more afraid of Morales getting shielded too well by Zul, ETC, and a potential third frontline hero. So they actually get her out of the way, which also could indicate that they are not really planning on playing a comp that is able to dive too hard here. BeGenius, again with the bans, as we said, ban on a tank could do it. But then again, what do you ban? Do you ban Muradin because he's overall the stronger frontliner, or do you ban Johanna because she fits the map and the map objective a little bit better than Muradin does? There's also still additional damage that you can ban out. They ban the Johanna. Okay, so they get rid of her. They allow the Muradin. And that's actually already a bit indicative of them saying, hey, we don't want to have you guys more wave clear. We have our Zul, we have our top lane there. Johanna has an easy time escaping. She has the wave clear as well, so let's get her out first. But this is definitely, once again, catering towards the map. And it's one of the cool things about Heroes that different maps demand different drafts and also demand, in this sense, of course, also like different compositions to be played. So for Liquid, frontline should be, it should be Muradin. I could see them playing with the Stitches maybe if they wanted to rely on the hooks again. They have already a Leoric, but it's very unlikely that Leoric is going to be played as a solo tank. So we will see them most likely still with the Muradin, but if they wanted to go into a different tank, they could go into Stitches, as mentioned. That would make them very reliant on the hook once more. I'm not sure if that's really what they would go for, since they banned out, well, they banned out Malf. That was the first pick for BeGenius. They were actually afraid that BeGenius would pick it first, whereas they just, yeah, okay, that's the Muradin. But they just added for the ETC. So a little bit more damage is something that both teams need right now. So Li Ming still there. Would be surprised to not see her in the game. She's great for the poke and for the interrupts on this map. So that's one of the heroes that you can definitely use there. When we're talking about additional heroes that could potentially be played in this setup right now, I'm still waiting for a team to... Sylvanas is still very strong, of course, for the snowball. Lunara can be played. One of the heroes that I'm still waiting to see a little bit more often is actually something like a Reyna, but not necessarily against the setup that BeGenius is playing here. With a change to Seasoned Marksman, I feel on a small map where you have him part of the rotation, he can get incredible damage. And he was always one of the more late-game oriented heroes, but that could give him even a little bit more power. There's a Thrall already for a very massive front line with a potential Earthquake play again. But Liquid, are they going to go for Sylvanas here maybe? A Wailing Arrow wouldn't be too shabby. The only question is, do you really have the damage output with that you need and that you want? That's the one thing that I'm currently struggling with a little bit. They have Vala, which is great, and Leori can put the pressure onto their frontliners with Drain Hope, but I really think they need something that has a bit more damage out there. And I could see them even... Again, Kalthas is an option here. Do you have Jaina? You have Kalthas. You can go for a mage. Gul'dan is also good. The only question is that really what you need there? A Kalthas against the front line with the living bombs wouldn't have been too bad if you can make sure that he doesn't get isolated. But they go for a Tassadar. Now, damage is definitely going to be an issue for them looking at this. They have good vision over the map. They have survivability. They have a lot of survivability with a double tank, double support. But to be absolutely honest with you, it's been quite some time since I've seen that's been successful. Even though this is Tomb, where the wall gets a lot of value, I could actually see them go for Archon here. We have seen an Archon play, I think it was 2 days ago, in a similar setup. So guys, it's the last map. Let's see which team wins the best of 3 series here at the first qualifier, Liquid or BeGenius. Okay everybody, the third game, the third map, it's Tomb of the Spider Queen, and well, as you can see, we have Liquid up against BeGenius. Let's see who is going to advance into the next round of the tournament. Now, first of all, we have to the left side, Shat on Leoric. We have Sport Billy on Tassadar, Poik on Vala, Get Amherd on Oriel, and Ziku is playing Muradin. So, I'm actually interested to see how that's going to work out. There's a lot of sustain, but they only have one dedicated damage dealer in the lineup. To the right side, Tank for the win on Thrall, Danatan on ETC, Unstable on Rega, Arcane on Zul, and Kirva is playing Tychus. So we can expect Thrall to be at the bot lane, Zul part of the rotation, pressuring these lanes very hard. And I'm a little bit interested to see how that damage output is going to look on the side of TeamLiquid, especially since we now have on level 1 block taken. I didn't expect that. I mean, if you played double tank, double support, I expected him to go for a full Drain Hope build. I mean, all the way. He decided against it, so it's a bit more survivability on his part now. I'm curious about 10 on Tassadar, really. Is it going to be the Archon, or are we going to see the wall? I mean, Force Wall gets, like, good value on this map, for sure. No doubt about that. But, like, I really feel they need a bit more damage. So let's see how that's working out for them. They definitely have the survivability and control during the fights, but so far BeGenius has shown themselves to be a very strong team. So once again, we already have them starting to jump in against Danatan, who felt the wrath of Team Liquid. And yeah, TL is definitely not going to have an easy time here. I mean, both of the teams are of course very eager to qualify for the league, but at this point it's going to be very interesting to see who in this first qualifier is able to make it to the round of 16. Already a bit of zoning happening to deny experience, but Shat is on the way, moves in and gets most of the XP there. We have also now Kirva and Danatan joining the rotation again. When it comes to talents, we have Rega picked for the team in red, and again the Colossal Totem as the level 1 talent. We're also seeing in terms of the Bone Armor Backlash as level 1 talent picked over Shade. Very common here in such a setup. And nice, the Taemin strike, I like it. That was a good one, but they couldn't really follow up on that with additional stuns, but definitely putting a bit of pressure on the Tychus. Kirva riding his unicorn here. In the Putin skin, if you so want. Needs to ride the Pleb horse for that, I suppose. But we're having also now Searing Light going for the heal build on Oriel. I'm really curious. I expect some talents to be significantly changed over the standard builds considering the lineup that TeamLiquid is running. And they have a lot of sustain during these fights, so the longer the battle lasts, the better for them in theory. And I really feel that this has to be one of the thought processes behind it. They're currently doing fairly well with the rotation, despite the fact that they're up against Azul. Get even the turning completed here. Fealty onto death now taken for Leoric. Fairly common talent on this map here in particular. And they again start to pressure Tychus. Tychus is eating a lot of damage there, and he nearly died, but they are able to keep him alive, at least for now. The healing ward also, or healing totem for Rhaegar also in play. Having, for the Detainment Strike now, the heavy burden with the additional slow after the stun. So it seems like Gerd has the potential to make quite a few plays here if he gets into a decent position. And I mean, the bot lane, of course, what you would expect. Chat still fighting the tank. Two of them should more or less end up on equal terms here. It's more about the rotation that's really the most important part. Unless, of course, BeGenius or TeamLiquid start rotating a few heroes down to the bot lane. Which actually seems like they're doing right now. But killing Leoric is normally not going to be easy. And that's the reason why. Oh! Yeah, he's gonna fall! He's gonna fall! They get the kill, but Sport Billy easily gets the pick up on the gems. So that kill, as cool as it was, is not really of any big consequence. It was a nice follow-up here. Very big commitment, actually, to rotate this many heroes down to the bot lane. But the gems have still been picked up by Tassadar, and that should more or less guarantee that they are not going to lose those anytime soon. So we still have both of the teams fighting for the first turn, and the gem count is at this point at a level where both of them have the potential to get it done. We're having Muradin with a third wind on 1, going straight for the double thunderclap on level 4. And yeah, a bit of a play against Gerd, who will fall. Gerd is down. Nice play by BeGenius, doing fairly well here with these rotations. That's the second kill already, and they keep even tank for the win alive, which was not an easy feat considering how fast they were trying to jump on him. But now level 7 talents are in play a bit earlier for BeGenius and for TeamLiquid, gives them a slight edge for the potential turn-in. And it allows them to get the turn up at the top lane. Nice. So we have, besides that now, follow through. Thrall, by the way, also adjusting with a block on level 1, not going for both of his Chain Lightning talents. So doesn't even feel the need to go for the mana sustain on level 1. And we have, on top of that now, the quarterback taken, plus of course the cleanse. 7 for both sides now. Still with double support, we have TeamLiquid without a cleanse. Just saying. I mean, they have 2 supports, but they don't have a cleanse available between the 2 of them. So now Carlos and Grace, the lingering apparition even, and the Iron Forgeman. A lot of survival talents here still, but Chat dies regardless. He is once again dead, and this is starting to become a bit of an issue. 3 kills against 0. We're seeing the Web Weavers pushing in hard, and that is nearly a half-level lead that we see before the Web Weavers even got any value. So right now, we have BeGenius with a pretty nice showing on the mid lane, getting the complete wall. Arcane is helping out the bot lane. Shat the only one who's trying to shut him down here. And that's not going to be easy for him either. The wall is also going to fall. More likely it's going to cost them the fountain on top of that. And at the top lane, the pressure is still continuing. So yeah, well played by BeGenius, and TeamLiquid has to be very careful. Last game already snowballed out of their control, and this could well be the case here again. Just look at Poik. He's the only real damage dealer. He's getting healed from all sides, but it's just simply not enough. There's too much damage available for the opponent, not enough for them to threaten anybody. So now we're seeing Vala dead, and that's kill number 4 that just got confirmed. And if you look at the experience, it's a 1.5 level lead, with level 10 being a huge game changer once more, since it would mean that we have an easy second turn in for BeGenius. Shat moves away, there's no Thrall to really follow it up and lock him down again, so he's not dying. But still, this is really starting to become a bit of, yeah, this, I mean, it worries me. Thrall with the Earthquake, as expected, going for Zenu meta. We have also, at the same time, the Ancestral. We're seeing Skeleton Mages, also for the zoning purposes, of course. ETC not revealing what he wants to go for. Can still go for the stage dive if you want it here. With this setup, there is a bit of interruption, for sure. But he could also just simply say, screw it, I'm going to go for a Mosh Pit. I'm going to get that done. And yeah, TL needs 10. So the delay on the turn-in, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see that turn-in complete in just a moment. They are probably going to try and do that before level 10 with TeamLiquid. But TeamLiquid will have the talent up for the defense, so that's at least something. That's one of the things that you have to make sure you can do. 33 on Sport Billy alone, and if he dies, they are in trouble. Red Web Weaver's descending, but level 10 should, as I said, be there for TeamLiquid just in time to defend. So they need one more wave, and then they're good to go. So let's find out what's happening. The 10s are going to be, I feel, crucial. I mean, I can't believe that Leoric, for example, would go for anything else but, like, Entomb. we haven't really seen a whole lot of March, and most of the time it looks pretty useless. Yes, there's the Entomb. The Force Wall still, they're just completely relying on Vala as the main damage dealer. I could have sworn that they would have tried to make some kind of weird play where they add the damage. So, interesting. One damage dealer is all that they have. I mean, of course, we all know that like some of these heroes can pack a punch. They go for Tyke. Great isolation on Tyke. Good heal though, but unstable. He has been on point. Earthquake on the ground. Yep, there comes the immediate stage dive. Leoric is already down. And that's the end of Poik. And there goes Get, Tacita, and yeah. Get wrecked, son. I'm sorry to say, but that is a disaster. I cannot see the appeal of the draft, if I'm completely honest. Chad is trying to get a few of the gems. They lost everything. They just lost everything. They lost 3 forts. They lost 9 against 0 kills. TeamLiquid just... I mean, I don't want to call this too early, but if not for a miracle, they just lost the game. They lost a massive amount of gems. They didn't get a turn-in yet. They held so many gems. They could have nearly gotten 2 turn-ins in a row. And now they lost everything here. They're 2 levels behind. There's level 13 talents now on the board. And I just don't see how they kill anything here. I really don't get it. As that, with a triple frontline as that last pick, I would have said go for a Kel'Thas, go for a Gul'dan. Something that helps you poke. But now going for the Tacita, I don't really see the potential to get a kill in against this. Not with Unstable being so on point on his ancestors the entire time. And the Earthquakes are just completely wrecking them here. Now we have 13 talents with a Giant Killer in. They're seeing Earth Shield for more survivability, Giant's Curse, even that's the stuff. A 3-level advantage, well, not quite, but close. And yeah, BeGenius is just completely dominating this game. They are working towards another turn-in, and there comes a jump into the mid lane again, trying to go for Poik, the only main damage dealer. He is barely getting out of there. Nice Entomb blocking a lot of the heroes. They go for the drill and they take it down. Muradin has to jump away, but they're not even close to really killing someone. Again, Rhaegar on point with the Ancestral, but even if they get a single kill, I just don't see how they can follow it up with additional ones. I mean, let's wait what they can pull off once that the game actually continues. They might be able to get a little bit more done here. But now Danatan sliding in again. They have a talent disadvantage. Keep that in mind. TL is still a talent down. A lockdown attempt against Ziku. Nice Aegis, good save. But he's still no, he's not. He's jumping out. Okay. The one problem that I have is that the entire time when you see TeamLiquid fighting right now, they're on the run. Even if they engage the fight, they are all of a sudden turned back, and they are always... It always feels like the fight is in there against them, is in favor of BeGenius. I mean, of course, it's easy to say right now with a talent advantage for BeGenius, don't get me wrong. But I'm not quite sure how that's supposed to change once that we are going to see the next talent happening for TeamLiquid. But well, let's find out. They have 13. It's closing in. If they get a turn-in, they might be able to get the experience and close the gap a little bit. So far, they haven't lost the keep, so you can always snowball that back, no doubt about it. So level 13 talents are there, and that gives us, first of all, the Crushing Hold. That's an important talent for damage. They really need that. Gloom has been taken, Healing Static, lots of survivability, the Blinding Flash. There's a lot of talents that they can actually use to get value in these fights. But they need to make sure that they are now starting to get value. This is the time to make a comeback. Don't mistake this. This is the time where you have to make your mark. You are on the same talent tier as your opponent, and you have Reviewers pushing. If you don't win anything now, then I don't see where else you would make that leap and close that gap. And right now, if you look at BeGenius, they're completely happy to wait. They're saying like, yeah, we're waiting for 16. Huh? Danatan needs to be a bit careful here, but okay, he gets away. Shocked there for a moment, is still looking to see if he can maybe set up a flank, but Ziku is there, zoning him out at the bottom side. They're starting to push through the middle, so TeamLiquid attempting to close the gap a little bit. Lingering Apparition also used. Well, there we go again. Zul is dead. That's a good kill. Nice isolation and the kill. TeamLiquid maybe making a comeback happening. Earthquake is on the ground. A lot of heroics have already been used, and we're seeing them jump in, lock down. Good cleanse, well done. Danatan eating a lot of damage to the wave. Great wall! But he has the crowd surfer and uses it to get out of the situation. 5 versus 4 though. The 16 talent is not giving them enough of an edge to really take that. So this fort might fall. Mid lane still being attacked, bot lane as well. So yeah, TeamLiquid is closing the gap in experience. They get the first kill for themselves. They take down Zul. ETC was a bit too late with the stage dive here. Reacted fast, but not fast enough. And TeamLiquid now trying to set up a bit of a trap. 5 versus 5 again. Down to the bot lane. We still have Khaldor taking down the Web Weaver finally. And TeamLiquid actually is trying to go for the boss. Alright, vision is there. Yeah, Tigers is on the way up to the top. They let the boss go. They want to fight here. Entomb can be used. Great Entomb! Trapping 3! Really well done. Egg is used and they are using the damage of Strafe to get some power pressure in against those guys. But now we have the drill on the ground again. Good strike against Danatan with that Stormbolt, making sure that he stopped sharp in his tracks. But they can't get that kill. Trading a lot of cooldowns, that's basically what happened there. But once again, an absolutely triple A Entomb on the side of Leoric. Not only trapping 2 within the Entomb, but zoning ETC even. And guys, look at the experience all of a sudden. 16 versus 16. TeamLiquid is actually back in this. They took 2 forts, and now think for a moment how much they lost when the team wipe happened against them. Just think about that for a second. They lost like gigantic amount of gems that could have easily made it happen in the second wave. Boss is taken and TeamLiquid is going for it. Danatan slides away, but there's a lot more than only him that's in trouble. Tank is also barely escaping, can use the Earthquake again, but this is still looking very much like TeamLiquid can make a comeback happen here. 6.5 out of 10 moment, IGN confirms. This could very well happen. 9 kills against 1, so if the past teamfights have been any indication, then BeGenius can make it happen again. But TeamLiquid is gaining some momentum, and they are riding that momentum train hard. They know what's on the line here. Yes, it's only the first qualifier, but still, you want to go as far as you possibly can. Danatan eating a lot of damage, needs to be careful. Yes, Zico at the front line has also very low mana pool, so he needs to be a bit cautious now. He's dropping fast with this. I don't think they can confirm a drop on the keep. That's not going to happen, but they can still pressure BeGenius, and they're doing it. BeGenius is actually a bit flabbergasted right now, you can tell. They didn't really expect this comeback to happen. And to be absolutely honest with you, I was very skeptical as well. But now TeamLiquid is finding their stride a little bit, they're finding their rhythm. And it's a lot more their comfort zone here. So let's find out if that can actually continue. Because even though they have closed the gap in experience, the one thing that you have still to think about is they only managed to get a single kill. It was an important one and it was well played, but they need to do more if they really want to win this game. So right now we're having, again, Shat just moving away, trying to make sure that there's no next wave, but Tassadar is being attacked. Good detainment strike by Gert, they're going for it. There's already the Entomb on the ground again. Danatan getting stunned once. Meridian, of course, adding the value now, but ETC jumping into the backline. Jet is already dead. Good damage, and oh my god, Danatan nearly dying. Arcane barely alive. That was so close to getting a double kill for TeamLiquid, but it's BeGenius who drops 2 targets. Down go Oriel and Leoric, and that is another turn in now. 11 kills against 1. So fairly smart play here once more. Very important that they keep the heroes here alive, of course, but that was a close call. It really looked like 2 of BeGenius heroes would drop, especially after the strafe was used by Vala. But they are able to keep all of them alive, and in this particular setup right now, they have Web Weavers pushing through again. The waves have been pushed out by TeamLiquid in nearly all of these cases, though. So the Web Weavers are not really going to get as much value as they would like them to get. But of course, if unattended, they will start to pressure these keeps quite easily. Shad and Sport Billy are currently doing a bit of work at the bot lane. Zico was zoning and trying to make sure that his heat was coming here. Crowd Surfer being used to just escape out of the wall. And of course, BeGenius trying to push the mid lane right now with the first weapon. Yeah. Top lane and bot lane are soon going to be pressured, but for now they're still fine. We're having also now Manticore taken for Vala. Super important that you get more damage in, and Manticore has a great talent to actually make that happen, so I totally agree with their choice. They need something like this. So they are starting to get that damage against the front line, but now with the Web Weavers defended at the mid lane, we have bot lane still pressuring, and we have the top lane also starting to pressure the keep itself. That's where Sport Billy is currently. Mid lane is still being attacked, so on 3 fronts they have to fight right now. 67,000 damage for Vala, 69,000 for Tychus. but it looks like TeamLiquid, they're still losing the top. They're still losing the top here. So they need to be a bit careful. The Genius are moving in. They have level 20 now as well. And that talent where we have Earth and Shield now taken. Not only Earthquake, but the 20 talent, the strength is being used as well here. The crowd pleaser, I can actually capitalize off the slow quite significantly. Liquid is again a level behind, and they lost their first keep, so they have to desperately try and get the next talent level, and then they can hope for another fight. Also, keep in mind, on 20, Vala has a much easier time dishing out the damage than right now. Farflight Quiver is going to make it much easier to get value out of Manticore, and in theory you can even go for the Rancor still if you want to drop more damage and think you can keep her safe for long enough. So at that point, let's see how they are. At that point, actually, let's see how they're going to do the 20s. I mean, for Muradin, survivability would definitely help quite a bit. You have also the Will of Heaven taken. The auto-attack increase on the side of Vala is, of course, helping a lot. That's one of the synergies that they have where a bit of extra damage is being pushed out. And with Rancor or with Firefly Quiver, it doesn't really matter which one you take. You more or less guarantee that Vala is going to be a complete beast. A turn-in after 20 now can also be really strong. Firefly Quiver it is. Shield of Hope has been taken. The Rewind, Muradin going for the extra stuns. This is really the time where Liquid has probably their best chance. Their 20s give them a massive, massive boost right now. And this is a massive power spike that they got overall. Of course, with 20 you always have that happening, but well, Ziku jumps out, doesn't really stun too much here. ETC in the backline, Drill on the ground, Poik is under pressure. He is the one who needs to dish out the damage. He's only on the run right now, not doing too much. The wall to try and shield him. Cassidy is escaping, but Muradin is already dead. Poik still with the damage potential here, is using a Stray finally, but Leoric is also dead, and BeGenius is just in complete control of this. They go straight into the mid lane where we now have a camp also pushing straight for the keep again, and they actually start to aim for boss so that they can finish the game. It's another 50 seconds that they have before TeamLiquid is going to be back at full strength. So right now with the boss they could potentially end the game here. The damage output that you can see on Vala and on Tigers is absolutely crazy, but they need a kill. And a 3 versus 5 situation for that, it's going to be incredibly difficult. There's Shed hoping to respawn in time. Yep, they're trying to go for it, but this is just not happening. Sport Billy in desperation is moving onto the point. Can't even use the dimensional shift without the boss being taken. And there is another crowd pleaser. Poik is already isolated, but it's a killer against Scat that they're looking for. That's Oriel down, and this is going to be the end of the game. TeamLiquid eliminated in the 3rd round. Only a miracle can save them right now. Even going for a smoke break would probably not cause BeGenius to lose this game. The boss alone already just way too strong. Poik trying to get a kill against Thrall, but he moved away. Now we're having also Ziku jumping out again, just barely. Shat is low, everybody low or dying. The boss on full health, approaching the core, and this is going to be it. TeamLiquid is out of the first qualifier. BeGenius is advancing to the next round. They will play again tomorrow. Well played. A kill against Tigers is too little too late. GG, a 2-1 victory as BeGenius takes down TeamLiquid.